The film opens in a cool New York nightclub. A band called Bauhaus is playing a song called Bela Lugosi's Dead. There, a couple named John and Miriam Blaylock, who look stylish and kind of dangerous, are on the hunt. They spot a young couple in the crowd and convince them to go home together. Once at the young couple's place, things take a dark turn. John and Miriam, who turn out to be vampires, don't have fangs. Instead, they use special Egyptian pendants to cut the throats of their victims. It's not your usual vampire story. The scene is like a dance, with the music in the background. The ancient pendants come into play, and without fangs, John and Miriam make a ritual out of opening the necks of their victims. It's eerie and different from what you might expect from typical vampire stories. The climax is intense as John and Miriam use the pendants to slash the throats of the unsuspecting couple. The whole atmosphere is charged with a mix of life and death, setting the stage for a unique tale where John and Miriam navigate their existence in a world where danger and allure lurk in the shadows. At the heart of this mysterious tale is Miriam, an extraordinary being with the gift of immortality. She possesses the ability to share her supernatural powers with chosen human lovers. The catch is that those she blesses with this immortality are not truly eternal like her. After around 300 years, they start rapidly aging, a process that leads to their withering away. Strangely, they can't die, condemned to an endless existence in a conscious but vegetative state. Miriam, the keeper of this haunting secret, preserves the deteriorating bodies of her once vibrant lovers in coffins tucked away in the attic of her dwelling. Throughout the centuries, she has offered this unusual gift to several lovers, including John in the 18th century, who eagerly embraced the chance for immortality, much like all those who came before him. The attic becomes a macabre archive of Miriam's enduring relationships, where the physical toll of immortality is starkly evident. The lovers, once vibrant and full of life, succumb to an inexorable decay, trapped in a perpetual twilight between life and death. Miriam, the immortal puppeteer, continues to weave her intricate tapestry of existence, each chapter marked by the aging bodies of those who chose to share in her timeless but strangely tragic gift. A sudden and alarming change disrupts John's existence as he grapples with insomnia and an accelerated aging process. Miriam, well aware of the ominous significance of these symptoms, embarks on a desperate quest for a cure. She seeks out the expertise of Dr. Sarah Roberts, a renowned gerontologist, hoping against hope for a solution to John's rapid deterioration. In her pursuit of aid, Miriam confronts Dr. Roberts, reaching out with urgency and desperation. Using her psychic powers, Miriam delves into the doctor's thoughts only to discover that Sarah's knowledge is inconclusive, her research a mere guessing game. A harsh truth unravels. Like all of Miriam's previous lovers, John is on an irreversible path towards extinction. Simultaneously, John attempts to meet Dr. Roberts at her clinic, seeking validation for his unraveling reality. However, Sarah dismisses his claims as delusions, leaving him stranded in the waiting room, hoping he'd grow weary and depart. Time, however, is not on John's side. Within a few short hours, he ages decades, the cruel march of time etching lines on his once youthful face. As Sarah finally confronts the undeniable truth of John's accelerated aging, she pleads for him to stay for examination. Yet, the hunger for blood, an overpowering force, almost compels him to leave, driven by an insatiable urge to satisfy his vampiric cravings. The intersection of mortality and the supernatural plays out, painting a poignant picture of John's struggle against an inevitable fate and Sarah's futile attempts to comprehend the inexplicable. Consumed by a potent cocktail of bloodlust and desperation, John succumbs to the primal call within him, making a tragic choice to quench his thirst. His victim is young Alice, a music student under the guidance of John and Miriam. Despite the life force coursing through her veins, Alice's blood offers no respite, providing no remedy to John's relentless aging. A haunting climax unfolds as John, weakened and defeated, loses control of his own body. His legs, once sturdy and supportive, now betray him, leading to a fateful descent down a flight of stairs. The townhouse, witness to the supernatural struggles of its inhabitants, becomes a stage for the tragic dance of mortality and immortality. Miriam, grappling with the harsh reality, shoulders the burden of her lover's withering body. In a somber and ritualistic procession, she carries John's deteriorating form up to the attic, a sanctuary of eerie silence and memories. The creaking of the attic floorboards echoes the weight of centuries as she places him in a casket, joining the macabre collection of those who came before him. Up in the attic, where Miriam keeps the bodies of her past lovers, it's like a special place filled with reminders of immortality. The attic sees a lot, it watches time pass and shows how tough it is for those who choose to live forever. John's story becomes part of this strange collection. It joins the others who, once full of life, now exist in a weird state between living and fading away. Closing the lid on John's casket is like closing a chapter in this eerie tale. The attic becomes a quiet reflection of how life keeps going in a loop for Miriam and her lovers. Each casket tells a story of someone who wanted to escape aging but ended up stuck in a never-ending struggle. As another casket shuts, sealing John's fate, Miriam faces the repeating pattern of her immortal life. The attic turns into a kind of painting, capturing the sadness and beauty of her timeless journey. Among the silent company of the preserved, Miriam thinks about the heaviness of living forever and the echoes of a life twisted between never-ending time and the limits of mortality. The attic holds stories of those who never age but also never find peace, telling the strange and sad tale of Miriam's enduring, immortal existence. Later on, when Dr. Roberts shows up at Miriam's door looking for John, Miriam sees in the doctor a replacement for John in her life. It is love at first sight for Miriam, and she immediately proceeds to seduce Sarah. Sarah is a willing participant in Miriam's seduction, but she doesn't know that Miriam has now transformed her into a vampire, just as she did to John and her other lovers. Lieutenant Allegra's arrival at Miriam's house marks a turning point in the unfolding mystery. Seeking information about Alice, he harbors a suspicious air around Miriam, though lacking concrete evidence of any wrongdoing. The tension in the air is palpable as the lieutenant navigates the delicate balance between instinct and the absence of proof, leaving an air of uncertainty lingering. Meanwhile, in another corner of this intricate tale, Sarah, the gerontologist, grapples with the unsettling onset of vampiric symptoms. A voracious hunger plagues her, yet normal food induces violent reactions, casting her into a realm of physiological confusion. Adding to her turmoil, Miriam's elusive presence seems to materialize wherever Sarah looks, blurring the lines between reality and the supernatural. Driven by a desperate need for answers, Sarah confronts Miriam about the inexplicable events that transpired between them. Miriam, shrouded in cryptic vagueness, hints at having bestowed eternal life upon Sarah, claiming a shared belonging. Sarah, rejecting the fantastical narrative, can't deny the profound and terrible transformation that has taken hold of her. Back at the clinic, Sarah and her colleagues, including her boyfriend Tom Haver, struggle in vain to find a cure for the enigmatic changes in Sarah's blood. The desperation pushes Sarah to revisit Miriam, a reluctant reunion born out of necessity. Miriam, orchestrating a dark solution, arranges for Sarah's initiation into vampirism, a chilling first kill with a male prostitute. Yet, Sarah hesitates, unwilling to take a human life and confronted with the moral complexity of her newfound existence. The narrative weaves a complex tapestry of suspense, with Allegra's suspicion casting shadows over Miriam's household, and Sarah's journey into vampirism spiraling into a realm of moral quandaries. The characters are entangled in a web of secrets, each choice leading them deeper into the intricate, supernatural dance orchestrated by Miriam, the enigmatic puppeteer of their fates. In a dramatic turn of events, Tom arrives at Miriam's townhouse in search of Sarah, who had mysteriously disappeared. To his surprise, he finds Sarah there, but the reunion takes an ominous twist. Miriam, aware of the insatiable hunger consuming Sarah, guides Tom to her, setting the stage for a tragic encounter. Sarah, driven beyond reason by her vampiric cravings, succumbs to the irresistible impulse and kills Tom for his blood. Miriam, convinced that Sarah is now her destined lover, joyously declares their eternal bond. However, the joy is short-lived as Sarah, burdened by overwhelming guilt for taking Tom's life, attempts to end her existence. In a desperate act, she uses Miriam's ink to cut her own throat during a passionate kiss. The unexpected turn of events shocks Miriam, who witnesses Sarah's blood flowing into her own throat. Sarah collapses, life slipping away, and Miriam is left horrified by the consequences of Sarah's desperate act. In a somber duty, Miriam carries Sarah's lifeless body to the attic, intending to place her among the other desiccated lovers. To Miriam's astonishment, the attic reveals a surreal scene. Her once crumbling lovers are now out of their coffins, awaiting her. The abrupt influx of Sarah's blood has triggered an unforeseen change in Miriam. As if released from Miriam's enchantment, the lovers disintegrate into dust, mirroring Miriam's withering state. The tables have turned, and the attic, once a repository of immortal remnants, becomes a stage for Miriam's undoing. The spellbinding connection that bound her lovers dissolves, leaving Miriam to confront the harsh reality of her mortality. The narrative, now tinged with tragedy, unfolds the consequences of vampiric existence, where the lines between predator and prey blur, leading to an unexpected and haunting climax. The film reaches its enigmatic conclusion as Lieutenant Allegra returns to question Miriam, only to be met with an eerie emptiness. The once grand townhouse, where the supernatural drama unfolded, is now mysteriously vacant and up for sale. Every trace of opulent furnishings has vanished, and the proceeds from the sale have been redirected to the sleep clinic where Sarah, presumed missing, was once employed. In the final, enigmatic shot, Sarah emerges in a starkly different setting, a high-rise luxury apartment, accompanied by a couple of lovers. The scene suggests a stark departure from her previous existence, now immersed in a world of affluence and companionship. However, a cloud of uncertainty hangs over Sarah's newfound life, leaving audiences to ponder the implications of her transformation. The narrative takes an unexpected turn in the last moments, revealing Miriam's fate. Imprisoned in a coffin, mirroring the destiny she orchestrated for her lovers, Miriam's anguished screams pierce the air. The once immortal figure now finds herself confined, a prisoner of her own making, as her desperate cries echo through the cold darkness. The film's conclusion leaves viewers with a haunting blend of questions and revelations. The townhouse's mysterious emptiness and the luxurious shift in Sarah's lifestyle evoke a sense of intrigue and ambiguity. Miriam's plight, trapped and screaming for release, adds a poignant layer to the tale, suggesting that the cycle of vampiric existence has come full circle, leaving behind a tableau of unresolved mysteries and the enduring consequences of supernatural choices.